Ho, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Coffee and Crypto with King. Except your boy doesn't have any coffee today. It is Friday, January 28th, and I started on time. I even created a thumbnail last night and everything. All right. Look, today's crypto video is going to be about FUD. FUD and the difference between that and somebody giving their opinion or a critical viewpoint. Okay. I want to talk about that today because there's been some stuff that I've observed this week that's made me wonder how people can consider themselves smart and intelligent people. All right. Now, look, if you're streaming, if you're viewing me across multiple platforms, thank you for watching. I'm streaming across multiple platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Most of those are at the actual King Smith, except for Twitter, because they're lame sometimes about certain things. But I'm just actual King Smith over there. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button for your boy. Help me out on the algorithms. That's the algorithm. So that this message can go out there. Now, this is going to be, I'm not trying to be negative, which is something that FUD can seem to be. There are things that I'm going to bring up that when you bring up something that's not a positive thing, or if you're not praising something, people want to go, he's spreading FUD. That's nothing but FUD. And if you're a part of a crypto community, okay, the moment that you say something negative about that specific cryptocurrency, people will jump down your throat and come at you. Don't come over here with that FUD or they'll block you. All right. Now, this hasn't happened to me yet, but for the things that I cover, I try and be objectively fair, in my opinion. Now, some people might not view that as being fair. For example, okay, actually, before I go into my example, I'm going to talk about what FUD means to me in crypto. Okay. And I took notes because I wanted to make sure that I covered this right. Okay. So, what does FUD mean in crypto? All right. These are my 2 cents. In crypto, FUD is typically one of two things. All right. It's an attempt to spread doubt about a particular token or project to cause the price to go down. Okay. Or it's general skepticism or cynicism about a cryptocurrency as an asset class or any of the related news or events that goes along with it. Now, that second part, in kind of how I define it, is what's interesting because I'm going to give an example and y'all tell me, is it FUD or is it a critical viewpoint? And before I get into my example, let me take a look at the comments here. We got Julius Fitton checking out live. Good morning, Julius. He asked a question, and let me bring off this so that the graphic can come up. Do I hold a position in BTT crypto? I do. Not a big amount, but I do. A lot of my buys and purchases, I'm not making large crypto purchases. For some stuff I am. Like, I have a budget set aside every time that I get paid to buy very specific cryptocurrencies for a specific reason. But yes, I do have a small position, and I'll tell you the exact amount. I took $100 a couple of weeks ago and bought $100 worth of BTT. All right. Why? I forget why. But yes, I do have a small position of BTT. Okay. So FUD, also by definition, thanks Sprite Marsh for actually highlighting this because I want to make sure that I point this out. FUD is an acronym that stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But I like what Spry Mars wrote up here, and I'm gonna give him some hand claps for that. He wrote out the acronym foolish, unbelievable, degenerate. And then followed that up with close enough. Hey, I like it. I like it. Let's see. And I have another question here. Are you informative on their redenomination strategy? I'm confused about whether it's good or bad. I have a little bit of information on it. I know that they recently just completed their redenomination, and SafeMoon did the same thing. It was to cause the circulating supply to shrink a bit. And I might not be explaining this in the best way, but typically, what I've observed in cryptos that have done that it's been a good thing when they went from like a quadrillion billion tokens to a smaller amount in the near term. It's supposed to help that cryptocurrency. SafeMoon did it. I know that BTT just did it as well. I can't explain it that well, but I'm a little bit up on the news as to what that is and why, but I can't really explain it on the fly like that. But I appreciate you asking. You got Money Boogie said it's for consolidation. I'm going to read up actually a little bit more about that because I do want to cover what and why consolidating like that, what that does to cryptocurrency and how that can make things work out long term. So shout out to Money Buggy in the building, man. I appreciate you joining the live streams. All right. So is it FUD if I tell you that on any of my two phones, one Apple, one Android, that I have CytoMask downloaded. I have the latest versions. And as of right now, it's supposed to just function as just a wallet. Okay. I'm in the Discords. I'm following all the advice, but I still can't get either of them to even function or look right as a wallet. On one, I imported my seed phrase to one of my cryptocurrency wallets, and on the other one, I just didn't. Even with importing my seed phrase, if you take a look into my wallet, I posted a screenshot. For some reason, one of my cryptocurrencies, as it's being imported, will show my cryptocurrency wallet as having over $1 billion through CytoMask. I've showed that screenshot already. I posted it on my Twitter as well. And I can't pinpoint or figure out why. And there's been several updates since then. I think there's a version 1.10 now, and this bug was initially on 1.5 when I brought it up. Was showing that. Okay. So is that FUD if I say, look, CytoMask was a bad launch? Okay. I don't care how they want to try to say, well, there was a DDoS attack and that caused us to have a bad launch, whatever. They had so much time, as they were saying back from October, since the Vegas event, actually, that the application is ready to launch. It's ready to launch. We're just waiting on the CERTIC audit to be done to ensure that the code is up to specs. Okay. And then you have testing that you do in IT. So I don't know what feedback they were getting from their testers on the test net and things like that for the application. The CERTIC audit gets done. They wait a couple of weeks. The app launches and it's horrible. Is that FUD? Is that FUD? Sprite Mars said, I got two phones. So there's been people that have, who are just like me, that are willing to give their opinion on YouTube or Facebook or whatnot, that come out and say exactly what I just said. That they're saying, hey, in my opinion, the CytoMask app launch is trash. Okay. And people come out and clown them for that. And oh, you're just trying to FUD this project, going somewhere you fudder. And I'm sitting there looking at them like, are they wrong? The psychology behind some people baffle me. Okay. It baffles me. Another one. Here's another one. And I'm going to share my screen here to talk about something because I found out I just thought that it was interesting. Okay. One of the things that I saw that I think is both good and bad, and something that I talked about on my channel as well, is if you're wanting to learn about different cryptocurrencies or just cryptocurrency in general and you're new, is to check out Twitter and go to Twitter Spaces. Okay. Now, Twitter Spaces is or are they're audio only rooms that people can host, have conversations about different things, and kind of like have meetings, if you will, or put out information. But there's no video like how this is. It is audio only. It is similar to Clubhouse if you are familiar with Clubhouse. Okay, I think it's a fantastic medium, and it's a good way to get information quickly and hear from the horse's mouth, if you will, about certain things. Like imagine if the CEO of Apple would host a regular Twitter space with the world. That would be something that people would tune into, just to hear this person talk. I would like to see more use cases like that of people chatting with the regular folks, celebrities coming on and just, having conversations. But in Twitter, okay, different Twitter spaces host AMAs or Ask Me Anythings. Or sometimes the community will have community leaders that host these spaces to just talk cryptocurrency in general. Okay. Some of them are very good, they're moderated really well, and others just aren't. And those that aren't moderated extremely well are having issues. Okay. And there's been some interesting discussions lately in some of these Twitter spaces. For example, I'm going to share my screen. One of the cryptocurrencies that I talk about is Impact XP. Jod Farah is the crypto leader, COO, CEO, something like that. You know what? President of Impact XP, whatever that means. This is one of the ones that I talk about that, in my opinion, can bring value because of the community that's behind it. All right. So I've talked about Impact XP. I have a position on Impact XP, and I'm extremely bullish on Impact XP for a couple of different reasons. I think it can replicate what Shiba did last year. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I hope I am not. I'm drinking some hopium over here. Okay. But is it for me to point this out? That if you take a look at this release rate here, okay, is it FUD for me to talk about how one of the issues that happened was one of their community leaders just being Mindy, shout out to her. She was a Saitama community leader that then moved over to Impact XP. And to me, she was an extreme advocate for the cryptocurrency and its plans and what it was trying to do in the future. You could catch this lady in Twitter spaces all day. She's Italian Southern, so she has that very Southern drawl, which I'm from the South. I'm from Bama. Okay. So anytime I hear that Georgia, Alabama Southern accent, I feel like home. Okay. And I think she's Tennessee, Kentucky, somewhere around there. All right. But she's been all about Impact XP. And in my opinion, was promoting some very positive news and positive impact about it. Something went down in one of these Twitter spaces, and there's other actors or agents that come into these that just talk nonsense. And in my opinion, Mindy was doing a very good job of fighting that nonsense, but doing it in a way that I can respect, hitting people back with logic and actual facts instead of coming from a place of feelings. That's something that I talk about all the time. Logic over emotion. Okay. Now, Money Buggy is aware of this as well because he came on and said that there's a rumor that she got fired from Saitama and then went over to Impact And then she apparently got fired from Impact like 3 months later. Okay. So Jod put out this statement. He actually wrote a tweet. He fired her from tweet. And the first thing that I was thinking about is how you gonna get fired on your day off? Because apparently Mindy came out and was like, I had no idea that this happened. Nobody called me before this came out on Twitter. And I thought that that was a bad move personally. Okay. But if John is overseas and you've got the, time zone difference, then there are some things that I can kind of understand. But then shortly afterwards, he puts out this tweet. Dear Impactors, and to me, this is considered a press release. If you put something on what looks like a letterhead, this is a press release to me. And this guy, English is not his first language. So I give him a little bit of wiggle room. But if you're trying to be a community led project, is it FUD for me to say this is garbage? Hear me out. Dear Impactors, as we all know, there has been some recent news of one of our core members no longer working with us. Look, English translation on why he wrote this could be that that's the reason why it just doesn't read well. Okay. But if you're going to be a worldwide cryptocurrency and you want to put something out in English, I would highly recommend you have a English quality control, advisor or media person that can make this read a little bit better. Because this doesn't inspire confidence. That's my main point. This doesn't inspire confidence. Okay, let's keep going and you'll understand why. Our main focus is Impact XP and how we can better our planet. Unfortunately, it has been brought to our attention from the community that where Mindy does work hard, it was not for the best interest of our project. You got a comma right here instead of a period. And I don't understand that where Mindy does work hard. Again, I can give him a little bit of leeway because English is not his first language. Okay. I only speak one language and I barely speak that well sometimes. So I'm not trying to make fun of this press release, but I'm just trying to be critical about why this is bad and you can't put something like this out and inspire confidence. Again, not FUD. Objectively looking at this press release going, you cannot put out something that reads this bad. Okay. Let's continue. Where these decisions are never easy, this was in the best interest of our holders. We strive to make all communities feel safe, welcome, and supported. Nothing really too bad to highlight there. We thank Mindy for all her effort and wish her the best for her future endeavors. Sincerely. And I said that wrong for a reason because it's spelled wrong. The E should be after this R right here for sincerely. Okay. How you going to spell endeavors right? Which to me is a harder word. And jack up sincerely. This doesn't make sense. So I actually came out here and wrote this, and there were several other people as real. Like this person right here, shout out to Katie McCormick, said, I'm embarrassed for whoever wrote this. And I'm like, you know what? Me too. It doesn't read well. Even if English isn't your first language, you can't write something like this and inspire confidence in the community. Misspelled words, bad grammar. Okay. I highlight this, I get attacked. Not, I didn't get attacked, but I could get attacked because this could be considered FUD. It could be considered FUD by, certain people. So there was another YouTuber who I watch, Tammy Sipnewski. I think that's how you say her name. She puts out content on YouTube, not very technical, but I say that in a positive way. I'm not very technical on my channel. You will never hear me talk about technical analysis. It's not my forte. Okay. The things that I look at are what's the news behind a certain cryptocurrency? How public are they? That's one of the other things as well. and what's the community behind it. If you take a look at Shiba now anyway, Shiba and SafeMoon, I think, and Doge, but they've all three of those have been out a long time, so they're very mature in their processes and what they've put out. So people are more, it's more regulated, if you will. I don't know if regulated is the right word, but there's less FUD over there about what they're doing because they have been out a while. And that's why I do give Saitama and Impact a pass. Just a little one though, because they're fairly new. Okay. Both of them have been out less than a year. So I'll give them both a pass. And I'll also say too, I'm still a believer in both Saitama and Impact XP. I do have gates though, gates that I'm setting up that if certain things on their roadmap don't come together, then I'm out. Now, one of those gates, are they're both a part of the Crypto Expo Dubai that's coming up mid-March. Those events have to work well for them to consider 2022 a success, in my opinion. That plus the stuff that they have coming up on their roadmap. Okay. And a product that should be coming out here sometime soon from Saitama. I'd say a better working product. It would be tragic of them, in my opinion, to go to that crypto expo in Dubai and CytoMask is still having issues. It would be tragic, in my opinion, for them to go to that crypto expo in Dubai and CytoMask is just a mask. Their swap function's not working yet, or any of the other features that they were looking to develop for CytoMask, the education platform, the staking, all of that stuff. If that stuff's not working by the crypto expo, I don't know how much money they've already put into it, but I would go. That's just my opinion. Okay. Another opinion in the comments. As of now, my Saitama is looking like a loss. Look, no matter when you bought it, okay, no matter when you bought it, you're down from when you bought it, unless you were one of the like very first people when it was extremely low. I'm negative on my Saitama. I'm negative on my Impact XP. I mean, my whole portfolio is negative now. The whole market's down. Don't get me wrong. But those two are down a lot right now. Am I discouraged by it? A little bit, but this happened with Shiba. This happened with Shiba. And I listened to FUD on Shiba. I did listen to FUD on Shiba and sold out on my position and paid dearly for it. Okay. So you have to have a certain amount of conviction yourself to hear the news of what's being put out there by whoever, whatever their agenda is, and make a determination for yourself if you think it's still worth it. I got out of Shiba before Shiba ran up, and it's cost me several zeros in my crypto wallet because of that. Oh man, one of these days I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take all of the screenshots and put it together and put a video out on what if. Y'all know that Marvel series called What If on Disney Plus, where it talks about, if things had happened, or what if this happened, how would this turn out? That's my crypto life. That's my crypto life. If I would have stayed in Shiba with the small amount of capital that I put in on it, I'd be a millionaire right now. Right now. Instead of my plan, which is a very aggressive plan, to hit that 2 comma in net worth in about 2 to 3 years. Interesting stat. In the US anyway, the average age of a millionaire is in their 50s. So if you could hit 2 commas in net worth before then, okay, before the age of 40, you're doing really good. I thought that was an interesting stat. I was like, oh, like, because if you take a look, depending on what culture you follow, you would think that there's a lot of millionaires out there, especially if you're like into sports and other stuff like that. A lot of those guys have very large contracts. But then when you think about it too, sports figures, it's not like there's a lot of them, out there. Okay. Let's see. I know a 27-year-old Sheeb millionaire. I know a guy personally, and I'm trying to get him to come on to the channel. He is so he's a retired army guy and he worked for the government as well. He put one of his stimulus checks into Sheeb, like right before she blew up in April, like their very first stimulus check. And he's a multimillionaire. He said he's retired now. Okay. So he was already in a good position because of being a retired from the service and was doing very well with money and single with no kids, so 40 something, I think he's 40, 49, 48, 49. And now he's a multimillionaire because of crypto. And Shiba, here's what's funny. You ask different people what to buy, you'll get a lot of different suggestions from people for whatever reason. I told y'all I'm big on the community driven tokens because of Shiba and what Shiba did. Others would tell you start with the blue chip, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then work your way with other altcoins from there. All right. If you're lucky, you can take a look at a crypto that just launched. All right. Um, which I've talked about how you can find out, hey, how do you find out these different pre-sales or cryptocurrencies or whatnot? There's different ways of figuring this out. Get in early, invest a, portion, and then just wait. Okay. If you're looking at some of these large to mid cap cryptocurrencies like Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's not going to go 10, 20, 50x tomorrow. Okay. That's not going to happen with those large to mid caps. Can it happen with the small caps? Yes. What's the probability of that? It really depends. I would say it's really small though. Okay. But Impact, I think, is one of the ones that can 20x this year too, if things work out for it. All right. But the guy that got rich on Shiba, who I know personally, chose not to sell when his initial $1,000 investment got down to, I think, 100. Imagine you put in $1,000, you see it get down to 100. If you sell at that point, to me, you're an idiot. If you want to stop halfway, I get that. Okay. But if you get down to where about 90% of your initial capital is lost and you decide to sell or transfer, my answer would be why? The person who I know chose to just hold. And when Sheba blew up, he made a couple million out of it. Shout out to him too. I'm not gonna put his name out there because we're still working out the details on how he can come on. He doesn't want to show his face because he doesn't want to be a target, if you will. But which is interesting too, because I'm gonna tell you right now, my cryptocurrencies blow up and makes me extremely wealthy. I'm still gonna be coming on doing these live streams. Is that smart? I don't know. It depends on who you ask. Because I put myself out there. Okay, my name is legit King Smith. That's why my channel is called The Actual King Smith. As somebody knows, I have a LinkedIn. I've talked about that on my channel. You can go Google me, as Shaq would say, Google me. All right. But I want to share this crypto journey. There's another content creator out there, Hinnock Crypto. I was actually trying to get him on to do an interview, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I'm going to put this out there now. I was trying to get him on and I was like, ooh, I got somebody because he said that he would come on. And in the background, I've been communicating with him. I understand this guy is extremely busy now with what he's doing. He is showing how cryptocurrency can change somebody's life. He quit his regular 9 to 5 job, okay, and is now what I would brand a crypto influencer. So he's pretty active on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm sorry, no, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. And he puts out micro content about cryptocurrency and what he's dubbing the $100 million challenge, where he's taken $1 million. He had somebody invest in him. Now, shout out to him for doing this. This guy would get on very high energy right when Saitama was like launching, basically being out there in the media and everything. He spent his own money, invested in himself essentially, and went to the Vegas event, okay, and networked and met people down there as well. And this is important. This is important because networking can go a long way for certain people, right? I ain't gonna say certain people, for anybody, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there. So Henok Crypto, Henok, this guy decided to go hard in on Saitama. Pause. But it's paid off for him in that he received an offer that I think would be extremely hard to turn down. So now he's a crypto influencer. Okay. Not any different than the average person, in my opinion, but his energy is infectious. And he has this $1 million crypto challenge where is taking $1 million and looking to see if he could turn it into $100 million. And he's put the wallet address publicly out there, and he talks about it on his YouTube channel. I'm following it just to see what he's doing, what his plays are, and how well it works for him. He's down right now because the whole market is down. There's a comment in here that said he had a beef with Rodney. I don't know who Rodney is. And I'll tell you this too. I follow Henok for his entertainment value. The guy's an interesting character. Okay. And coming out from that Vegas event, because he'll come and do the whole Saitama howl, but he does go back and forth on what he says. For example, he came out and was very public in saying, I am all in on Saitama. It's the only thing that I'm invested in, and I'm going hard on that. I'm not looking at any other cryptocurrency. And I'm sitting here like, stop the cap. Stop the cap, because that would be foolish. If you were to not diversify, I can't tell you that it's a right or wrong thing to do. I know for me, if there's opportunities in other cryptocurrencies, I'm going to look at those opportunities as they come up. Okay. So when he said that publicly, I'm like, you're lying. I know you're not only in Saitama. And he has since then talked about other cryptocurrencies that he's in and walked that back a bit. Okay. And two, if you're watching people, other content creators, even me, I consider myself just a regular guy putting out content, not an expert about anything, but I'm sharing my crypto journey in hopes to inspire somebody else who might be new to understand or get into cryptocurrency as well. I think that there is opportunity there. Okay. I want to look at who Rodney is. Rodney is a strong Saitama supporter. I'm going to check him out. I'm going to see if I can find Rodney. I'm going to put Rodney Saitama in YouTube and see what comes up. Shout out to Money Boogie for that suggestion. So that's my video for today. I have to get to work. I have to ask y'all though, if you're critical about something and you present an objective viewpoint, is it still FUD if it's not all roses about that cryptocurrency? All right. Is it FUD for me to say CytoMask is a failed launch at this point and it's still not a good application? I don't know. I don't think so. I would tell people to wait on Saitama. Wait on CytoMask before they actually use it. Okay. Because as of right now, it's just a wallet. You can't do any trade functions. That feature's not available yet. Okay. So what are you using it for? Y'all let me know. I got a nope already. Nopey, nope, nope, nope. Do I have a nope button in here?
Nope.
Hey, there we go. I do have a nope. Shout out to my assistant, Sasha, for giving me the voices.
Hi, King. Good to see you again.
That's right. I'm going to play around with this thing. I'm going to make this live stream ridiculous when I get it set up the way that I want to set up. There's going to be graphics, there's going to be sounds, there's going to be sound effects, a whole bunch of things. Look, that's my video for this morning. If you're catching me across YouTube, hit that like button for your boy. Help me out on the algorithms. That's the algorithm over here. And shout out to my man, Sprite Mars, for checking in on Twitch. I have a Twitch follower. That's fantastic. Y'all don't know how hard it is to get people to watch on Twitch. I watch Twitch gamers, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to go into that. All right. This has been another Coffee and Crypto with King. I'm not going to stream or do anything over the weekend because this stats class is kicking my ass. So I'm going to be focused on my homework. It's the last class that I have to do to finish out for my MBA. And I thought about quitting it. If I'm being honest with you, I thought about saying, you know what? I don't need my MBA this bad. But I do have some resolved. I reached out to a couple of people that are stat savvy, and I'm going to look at getting some tutoring in that to try to get my knowledge up for my stats course. All right. And Moneybuggy said, I'll come on your show when I get rich. Hey, bruh, I will absolutely have you on. You let me know when and what time. Matter of fact, we'll do a live stream from my yacht. We'll do the live stream from the yacht and talk about the good old days, you know, back in 2021 and 2022 when we started investing into cryptocurrency, how we pulled a Drake, started from the bottom, now we're here. So salute to Money Boogie, salute to Rodney, not Rodney, Julius, for asking the question. I appreciate that. Hey, look, I'll try and answer questions on things that I know. If I don't know, I'll tell you straight up, look, I'm not sure. I don't know. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Stay warm out there, and I'm out. Peace.